Scholar Gypsy by Matthew Arnold, a pastoral elegy and a critique of modern life, published in 1853 in Poems. It is a pastoral elegy modified pastoral. Source is Joseph Glanvill's The Vanity of Dogmatizing. Total 25 stanza and 250 lines. 10 lines in each stanza. Iambic pentameter and setting is Oxfordshire countryside. The poem celebrates the scholar gypsy who leaves academic life to seek a higher truth among gypsies through the power of imagination and single-minded purpose. He becomes a timeless wanderer in stark contrast to modern man, who suffers from restlessness, divided aims, and loss of faith. One aim, one business, one desire, the secret of his immortality. Let's discuss the whole poem in brief. A gifted Oxford student, poor but brilliant, forsakes preferments dure. He joins the gypsies to learn their mystical art of controlling thoughts and imagination. He promises friend to return and impart the secret after mastering it, awaiting for heaven-sent moments. He disappears and is rumored to wander the earth eternally. The speaker imagines seeing him in different seasons and places. So let's see the stanza by stanza summary. Pastoral invocation. The speaker is in Summerfield near Oxford. He bids the shepherd begin the search for the scholar while he rests and reads Glanville. Rich pastoral imagery creates an idyllic, peaceful world and escape from modern rust. The scholar leaves university to learn the gypsy's sacred art. He tells friend he will bind thoughts and share the secret after mastering it. The speaker imagines him across seasons, by rivers, mountains, forests, by sea, always pensive, free, in antique garb, close to nature and timeless. The speaker rejects the idea that the scholar died. His single aim save him from time, corruption. Unlike modern men, worn by repeated shocks, he remained the same, preserved by unity of purpose. The next is critique of modernity and warning. A powerful contrast, modern life is a strange disease of restlessness and divided aim. The speaker wants the scholar to flee modern contact using the aptic simile of a Tyrian trader who avoids intrusive Greeks to preserve his ancient ways and privileges. So literary devices and technique used here is imagery, vivid pastoral scenes, seasonal changes, sensory richness, symbolism. Scholar of Oxford symbolize ideal self, unity, hope, allusion. Glanville, classical, pastoral tradition, Milton's Lycidas echoes, contrast and juxtaposition. Idyllic nature versus disease, modern life, unity versus divisions, ancient ways versus modern corruption. Epic simile, extended comparison of Tyrian trader. Final stanza, masterful and memorable. Tone is melancholy, nostalgic, reflective, critical, yet hopeful. Apostrophe and personification. direct address to the scholar and Seaford, nature is alive and responsive. The Tyrian traders simile is stanza 21 to 25. The speaker compares the scholar to a Tyrian trader of old who avoids intrusive Greeks to preserve his ancient ways of life and privilege. The trader leaves his royal city and sails the sea. He avoids the Greeks who go everywhere unchecked and overturn ancient uses. He holds fast to his ancient privilege and law. He seeks out old Tyre still standing on its rock. He is wise to keep aloof and maintain his independence. So must the scholar flee modern contact to preserve his high aim and ancient wisdom. Key quotation is one aim, one business, one desire, the secret of his immortality. Waiting for the spark from heaven to fall, his hope and purpose. Strange disease of modern life with its Sikh hurry, its divided aim. No, thou hast not filled the lips of ours. The scholar is timeless. Fly hence our contact fear, warning to the scholar, still nursing the unconquerable hope, still clutching the inviolable shade. The scholar's strength and faith half live 100 different lives, half die 100 different deaths. Fragmented modern existence. The entire Tyrian trade simile is a masterpiece of poetry. Historical and biographical context is Victorian era industrialization, scientific advances, spiritual restlessness. Arnold, an Oxford educated poet and critic, wandering the countryside with friends like Arthur Huclaw, reflects his concern about the loss of purpose and the